Hi all, welcome back to a new post today, and today is part 2 of the TSPSC mains current affairs for the Group 1 mains upcoming examination. Let's look at some of the most important topics. Yesterday I covered how the state was planning to make Telangana the spiritual capital of India. Apart from that, we spoke about the GST boost in revenues and the participation and the performance of the state government with regard to the indirect tax of GST revenues and certain other components as well. So today let us look at some of the important issues, especially how the state is giving a boost to fish cultivation in the state of Telangana. Apart from that, the woes of the cotton farmers, their demand for a high MSP, the city gas distribution network coming to the state, which is achieving the goal of clean energy and also piped gas network in the country, and last but not the least, some developments in Hyderabad, because there is an important topic called as Hyderabad, the importance to the Telangana state in your geography paper, and all these other topics also are equally important as well. So first let us start off with the fish production of the state. So state of Telangana is giving a big boost to the fish cultivation in the state, especially this year in 2023-24 budget. The state of Telangana laid out a tax-free budget of 2.9 lakh crore rupees, and in the budget there was an allocation for animal husbandry and fisheries department of 2,000 crore rupees. Fisheries, let me tell you, is one of the fastest growing income generating sectors of the Telangana government, and also it has vast employment opportunities as well. Though the Telangana state is not a coastal state, but it has various upcoming reservoirs as well. So those reservoirs are not only used for electricity generation, irrigation, flood control, but also the farmers can practice inland fisheries cultivation as well. The brew revolution in the state therefore has been surging the fish farming in the state and also increase in fish production, so much so that it is valued at 4,800 crore rupees in 2021, which is an increase of 145% when we compare it to the figures of 2017 and 18. The state government very recently set up a center of excellence for fish seed production in Vaira in Khammam, and this is the highlight. The state fisheries department is also now focusing on growing of indigenous fish varieties, especially to boost the exports and also the inland consumption, which has increased according to the National Family Health Survey as well. So we are doing extensive farming of Koraminu or the Murrel fish, and which is the Telangana state's fish as well, and we want to cut down on the consumption of hybrid species and promote the indigenous species production in the state. The sector is contributing to 0.6% of the GSDP, and it is an important part of agriculture and allied activities, and plays a very important role in the diet consumption and also the overall socio-economic development of fisher farmers in Telangana by boosting not only nutrition but also food security as well. Telangana now is the third largest state with regard to inland water resources, and with regard to fisheries, it has 77 large, medium and minor reservoirs and also 24,000 tanks with 5.7 lakh hectares of water spread out for suitable fisheries production in the state. Aquaculture is practiced in more than 1,000 hectares in area, and there is a rich human resource pool of 27 lakh population comprising fisheries committees and who are organized into mainly the fisheries societies, and we have about 3 lakh members spread over the entire state of Telangana. The vision is not only increasing the fish production but also productivity, and also developing the backward and the forward linkages with regard to enhancing the livelihood of the farmers, achieving self-sufficiency in production of the fish seed, and also ensuring availability of fish to the consumers at a very affordable prices, and promoting hygienic condition for the improving of the marketing infrastructure as well. The water resources with the state includes reservoirs, tanks, and also the fisheries departments, the tanks with the fisheries department and the Gram Panchayat as well. Recently, the state government started something called as Matsya. It is a web-based fisheries information management system that is designed for capturing the database pertaining to various programs and schemes implemented by the fisheries department by the government of Telangana, and also for the welfare of fishermen community. Now this application is accessible to the department users at the state, district level, and also at the lowest level also for the various stakeholders. There are many steps that are taken by the state government for development of fisheries. Number one is the supply of fish seed and prompt juvenile juveniles at 100% grant. Number 2 is increasing the fish seed production. So there are 19 fish seed farming functioning in the state, out of which 6 farms are fish seed production and rearing farms having hatcheries for spawn production, and remaining farm are fish seed rearing farms. Number 3 is construction of the community halls. Under the scheme, financial assistance is being given to the fishermen cooperative societies towards construction and maintenance of the community halls for the fishermen. Saving and relief scheme is number 4. Under the scheme, financial assistance is provided to the fishermen licenses during the fishing ban period for livelihood support and also inculcating the habit of saving. And number 5 is construction of fish markets for promoting fish sale in very hygienic conditions. Construction of fish markets is taken up by the department. There are 84 fish markets sanctioned with a total financial outlay of 760 lakh till now, and out of these 29 markets have been completed. The remaining are still at the stage of completion. And let us go to the next most important issue, that is about the piped gas distribution in the state. So the Government of India has a goal of providing piped gas distribution to the whole country and wants to cover all the districts in a phased manner. Apart from that, it wants to increase the use of natural gas and also wants to turn the economy into the gas-based economy, doing away with fossil fuels. It also has many renewable energy goals to be achieved by 2030 and 2070. So this topic is also very useful from your energy perspective point of view with regard to geography and also the policies of the state of Telangana and the Government of India with regard to these. Now, India currently has a renewable energy capacity of 169 gigawatt as of February 2023, and that is according to the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy Resources, with about 82 gigawatt at various stages of implementation and 41 gigawatt is under tendering process. Now, these are 64 gigawatt of solar power, 59 gigawatt of hydropower, 42 gigawatt of wind power and 10 gigawatt of biopower. In accordance with the Prime Minister's vision of COP26, Government of India now aims to achieve 500 gigawatt of installed electricity from non-fossil fuels, that is renewable energy plus nuclear, by 2030. Now, the government is also targeting to raise the share of natural gas in the energy mix to 15% by 2030. This target is very important for you to remember, and also from the current 6.3% now. So there is a dedicated scheme for this, the city gas distribution. This project is being taken up by the Indian Oil Corporation, which will provide every household city gas distribution through a pipe network. And this now is being implemented in Karimnagar Municipal Limit as well. Recently it was launched there. A strong emphasis has been laid on the city gas distribution network across the country by covering, the government's aim is to cover 407 districts in the initial stage, with a potential to make gas accessible to 70% of the population initially. The distribution networks will enable supply of clean cooking fuel like piped natural gas to the households, to the industrial and commercial units, and as well as the transportation fuel like CNG to the vehicles. Now, the people of the Karimnagar district now will be able to get the piped natural gas supply at the Petroleum Natural Gas Regulatory Board as accorded this contract to the Indian Oil Corporation to provide this piped natural gas to the people of Karimnagar, and also for not only for household uses but also for commercial operations as well. And therefore, Petroleum and Natural Gas Regulatory Board under the Ministry of Petroleum has accorded this contract to the Indian Oil Corporation, which has already started the work and is implementing the project on a pilot basis in the Ramagundam Fertilizers and Chemicals Limited Township. So recently the Pradhan Mantri Narendra Modi also inaugurated the gas usage at the Ramagundam Fertilizers to enable production of clean fertilizers, switching over from fossil fuels. Initially, 426 houses located in the Karimnagar township will be supplied with piped natural gas, and later this will be expanded to the Ramagundam coal belt, including the Godavari, Kanni, NTPC and other areas as well. So as a part of this project, now a pipeline has been laid, and this is up to Kundanapalli on the outskirts of Ramagundam. And in the next phase, the pipeline will come up to Peddapalli after getting its permission from the Roads and Buildings Department of the Telangana government. For this purpose, a gas station station has also been set up at the Ramagundam Fertilizers, which is going to start functioning in very near future, and it has already been started functioning. And though the construction of the gas statement is almost completed, the work only of the pipeline is left. Now, since the Ramagundam Fertilizers Limited is a gas-based urea production, the gas is also being supplied to from the Kakinada basin of Andhra Pradesh, and the same gas will also be diverted through a pipeline which will be supplied to areas such as Karimnagar, Peddapalli, Jagatyal, Rajana Sirsila districts. Now, this is a part of the Union government's vision to provide a gas-based economy to India and also to extend this gas through various pipelines in the country. The advantages that beside the residences, even the commercial establishments will also get gas, and apart from that, this is a very clean fuel compared to the fossil fuels. It will also help small industries and hotels, and compared to liquefied petroleum gas, natural gas is safer and also available at a cheaper price compared to the LPG as well. So these are few of the advantages. Let us go to the next most important issue, and that is about the Telangana cotton MSP issue. Now, Telangana farmers, the Telangana government is basically, the economy of Telangana is basically agriculture. Most of the crop in the state is monocropping of paddy, cotton and few more crops, and apart from that, fruits, vegetables and other perishable goods are also grown in the state. But majority of the population are dependent on farming, and most of the farmers recently have been demanding for an increase in the MSP for the cotton. Let us look at this issue, which also is nothing but the problem of plenty with regard to cotton production in the state, and also with regard to the MSP, the increase in the production prices that the farmers are facing, and how the state of Telangana, the government of Telangana is asking them now to change from monocropping to multi-cropping and also crop diversification. So at least 56% of the country also is still dependent on agriculture and allied activities according to the 2011 census. Cotton farmers have been demanding for an increase in MSP. There have been various cotton organizations in the state that have staged protest as well, and they are demanding a quintal 12,000 rupees per quintal, saying that the cost of production for the cotton is increased drastically, and also the yields have been dropped, and also with regard to the pink bollworm pest that has infected the cotton production in the state and losses to the farmers. Now, the Telangana cotton growers claim that the cost of production is almost 8,000 per quintal, and therefore they want an increase in the MSP to also deal with the increase in the cost of the pesticides, recently the issue of the pink bollworm, and also increase in the labor costs as well. Yields also have come down significantly with regard to cotton. So it is just about 4 to 5 quintals per acre. The present MSP, let me tell you, for cotton is 6,080. They say it's not sufficient to meet the cost of production, and therefore they have been demanding the Cotton Corporation of India, which purchases the cotton from the farmers at the MSP, to purchase the cotton at 12,000 per quintal. Now, the Farmers Union therefore decided until the Cotton Corporation of India decide to give them the related MSP, that they will organize protests, and this has happened in the near future. Also, one of the problems that has faced the cotton farmers in the Telangana state is heavy rains. So unseasonal heavy rains have damaged lakhs of the cotton crops, and therefore to also deal with the loss, also the farmers want an increase in the MSP. Therefore, the less MSP that is being offered now, they say, is not sufficient to bear the brunt of the loss and also the cost increase. There are certain problems that the cotton farmers in India as a whole and also Telangana are facing. That is the high cost of the fertilizers. The BT cotton has been facing certain problems with regard to infestation of the pink bollworm. There is high cost of pesticides. There is high cost of labor wages, especially during in the aftermath of the post-pandemic period, and also the less MSP that is being given to the farmers, and also very low returns for the farmers with the sale of the cotton. Let me tell you, India is growing all 4 species of cotton variety. We also grow BT cotton, and in India, majority of the cotton production comes from 10 major cotton producing states. Telangana comes one of these zones in the southern zone. So in the northern zone, we have Punjab, Haryana and Rajasthan. In central zone, we have Gujarat, Maharashtra and Madhya Pradesh. In the southern zone, we have Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. India has the first position with regard to cotton production in the world, and also it is the second largest consumer of cotton in the world because of the large textile industry. The cropping patterns in the Telangana state, let me tell you, are highly skewed. Most of the cropping is related to paddy and cotton, and very recently also the government of Telangana has been appealing to the farmers to diversify the crops to deal with the problems with regard to MSP and also the problem of plenty. This over dependence on two crops is increase the exposure to production and also price risk to the farmers in the state of Telangana. And this is also doubled with regard to the devastation due to pests, disease outbreaks and also environmental perils like unseasonal rains. Now the net sown area in Telangana, let me tell you, is 135 lakh hectares and the gross cropped area is 203 lakh hectares. The net irrigated area is very less, 55 lakh hectares with 75 lakh hectares gross irrigated area. And out of 59 lakh farmers in the state, 65 have small land holdings, and therefore the cotton producers are also mostly small land holdings. They face a problem with regard to price. Telangana is the largest producer not only of paddy but also the second largest producer of cotton in India. Crop production accounts for 43% of the state's agriculture GDP, and the remainder is contributed by various other sectors. The major crops during the rainy season are cotton, that is 45% of the land area, and paddy 39%, and a small share goes to red gram, maize and soybean. And during the post-rainy season, majority of the cultivation is for paddy again, and again some maize, Bengal gram and groundnut. The monocropping of paddy and cotton in the state is leading to various problems. Not only problems of production, price, pest, but also the environmental perils as well. This is not only exposing the farmers to excessive price instability, but also risk of pest and diseases as well. And this has happened last year even with regard to the chili crop that faced because of the rains, and the farmers lost almost 1.3 to 1.5 rupees per lakh hectare. Sustainable agriculture growth in the state requires crop diversification, and diversification has been asked by the state government, not only towards other crops but also livestock, dairy, meat, fisheries, which are also there is a demand for. And the diversification strategy makes the farmers' income more resilient, especially when there is a fluctuating in the prices and also climatic vagaries which affect the income of the farmers. Over the years, the state of Telangana has been encouraging the farmers to diversify the crops to increase the farm incomes and also to mitigate the risk, but little progress has been done in this regard. Now, though the yields in Telangana of paddy compared to cotton are very good, but the yields of cotton are very less, and therefore though they have benefited from the high prices, but the vagaries of the monsoon, the pest and also the increasing costs are leading to the farmers to demand for a more MSP. The government is also promoting the oil, fruits and vegetables in a big way under the irrigated conditions, and from last 2 to 3 years the state government has been trying to diversify the area under the cultivation of paddy to alternative crops like pulses, oilseeds, but this, as I told you, is met very little success. Now it's the time to take up crop diversification and not waiting for the situation to get worse on a mission mode. So the government has taken up already crop diversification on a mission mode to avoid procurement problems as well as to avoid the other problems which I've mentioned now. There is a program called as a one district to one product approach, and crop colonies are also being promoted to encourage farmers to switch to high value crops by identifying and providing the necessary basic infrastructure, commodities, inputs like processing units, post-harvest infrastructure, the seeds, fertilizers, etc. in each district, so that the farmers adopt crop diversification. The Department of Agriculture is also propagating alternate crops through demonstrations with the help of agriculture institutions and universities. Farm mechanization is being taken up on a large scale. Value addition and other on-site activities are also being promoted and being taught to the farmers as well. There are multiple schemes running in Telangana aimed at crop diversification and also for production of palm oil, horticulture, bamboo and also agroforestry as well. Cash and kind incentives have been given also to the farmers for crop and diversification. In many parts, even under bore wells, now paddy is being grown due to the policies like 24/7 electricity. This is not sustainable, and that is why the farmers are facing a problem, and therefore the state government is requesting the farmers to go for crop diversification. Let me tell you, paddy is a water guzzling crop and it takes more than 3 to 5 amount of water that is required to produce the same amount of pulses and oilseeds. So in the long term, this practice of farming in the state, which is now being done with regard to monocropping and also paddy on a large scale, is not very sustainable in the long term. The farmers are bound to suffer, and therefore the state government is asking them to especially go for crop diversification. Overall, for crop diversification plan to be successful, there are certain requirements. So implementation of the MSP for alternative crops have to be done, number one. Number two, development and diffusion of high yielding technology should be done so that they turn to alternative crops. Number three, expansion of area under controlled irrigation so that water is provided timely should be done. And number four is rural infrastructure connectivity to the markets, promotion on a large scale for alternative crops, incentives to the farmers should be given, and this will definitely help in crop diversification and also dealing with the present problems of the cotton and the paddy farmers as well. And let's go to the last news for the day, and that's about strategic development of infrastructure in Hyderabad. Hyderabad is a key zone and the core zone for the state of Telangana. Much of the revenue comes from Hyderabad. It's also now an international also now an international destination for various companies, and also the burgeoning IT sector, services sector, tourism, etc. So the state government has come up with something called as a strategic road development plan, under which infrastructure is being eased in Hyderabad, keeping its in mind the node for many industrial activities and also connectivity to other areas as well. So the state government's flagship strategic road development program is being taken up, under which infrastructure is being eased, especially with regard to roads. Many flyovers, underpasses and other facilities are being created in the city, and this is only to ensure that the city is smart, sustainable and also comfortable for the people who live and stay here. So commuting experience especially is being made smooth in the city. And for this, the strategic road development program has changed the face of the city in the last few years. So the roads are becoming wider, flyovers are being built at many busy roads, underpasses are making travel safer and seamless. And Hyderabad, let me tell you, is India's 5th largest city. So traveling from one end to the other is now being aimed to make it more comfortable and not also taking much time, and also easing the traffic congestion, promoting one-way pathways on a large scale. Now, Telangana government's project of strategic road development program is not only focusing to making the commuting traffic free, but also time saving to the commuters. The Municipal Administration and the Urban Development Department has launched phase 1 of the strategic road development program with 47 road development projects, out of which 31 have been completed and have been made available to the public. So I'm very sure if you go anywhere within Telangana, you'll see a lot of highways coming up, metro projects being coming up, flyovers being developed. So these are all being developed under the strategic road development program. The construction usually of flyovers and underpasses takes around 4 to 5 years. However, because of the strategic road development program, it is taking very less time in many parts of the city, and the traffic situation has eased in many ways. And for example, at the LB Nagar junction and at KPHB, High Tech City, Tangband, Madhapur, Shekhpat, etc. has witnessed a drastic change over the years, and travelers are now able to reach from one part of the city to another. The flyovers and the underpasses in the city have also been benefited, especially traveling from one end to the other is most important, because all the IT sectors and the financial district is at one place, the markets are at one place, and also the international airport is located. So seamless travel is very important. The state is also the city is also the pass by for many national highways, especially passing through Hyderabad, and therefore seamless travel makes it much more important. And this is being achieved by the strategic road development program. As I told you, flyovers, underpasses in the city have not only benefited transportation of goods and services from one place to another, but they are benefiting the working people and also the school going persons as well. This not only provides for internal connectivity, the strategic road development program also involves construction of roadways around the outer ring road, making it easy to connect with other cities as well. Now this is majorly implemented by the Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation, and it has involved most of the money is put by the Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation for the flyovers, underpasses, bridges, roads, etc. And it was conceptualized by our Minister of Municipal Administration and Urban Development, KTR. The mega infrastructure project is aimed at signal-free traffic from one end to another, with the objective of minimizing the traffic time, reducing traffic jams, and most importantly, bringing down the pollution levels. So many projects have been taken up, like for example 6-lane flyover from the Aramgarh to the Zoo Park route, the Nalagonda crossroads to Ovesi Junction flyover, the 4-lane elevated corridor from Indira Park to VST Main Road Junction, and the second 3-lane bi-directional flyover from Namnagar to Baglingapalli via VST. With the projects under progress and also taking very less time for completion, it has been seen that seamless travel will become one of the characteristic feature of the burgeoning Hyderabad as well. So this is about the road development and how, but there is a flip side to this project. The cost intensive nature of this project especially is one major problem. Apart from that, it caters mostly to private transport and not to public transport like your RTC buses, etc. Free flow of traffic, especially concentrating on one-way movement of the travelers, has now led to a lot of reckless driving in the city and more making them more accident prone. Number 3, it is argued that the enhancement of the infrastructural facilities will attract investment in the city and it will also boost the economy, but the above two are the backdrops. Number 4 is that it has compromised the GHMC's finances, so there is nil support from the government for this in terms of budget, and most of the money is coming from the GHMC, so it is a strain on the GHMC's finances as well. And most of the fund for the strategic road development project for Hyderabad has been funded through borrowing and also issue of bonds. Now this is another major concern as well, especially with regard to repayment and also interest as well. In the latest GHMC budget approved for 2023-24, 20% of the total revenue and 53% of the capital revenue was shown from borrowings, and this proves that there is a strain on the resources of the GHMC already. So this is about the most important infrastructure and development project in Hyderabad, keeping in mind Hyderabad is a core for many sectors of the state, from which most of the revenue of the state is coming from. So development, especially making it a smart city, sustainable, seamless travel, clean, pollution free, is most important. And I hope these topics were really helpful to you all. I shall see you in my next session, and until then, very happy learning.